Hi, and welcome to the Agile Hub, your home for all things Agile. Ever wondered what the difference between Scrum and Kanban is? Today, we're diving right into that. Welcome to the exciting world of Agile methodology, the secret sauce behind successful project management and team collaborations. Agile is not just a methodology, but a mindset that encourages flexibility, quick responses to changes, and a customer-centric approach. Now, under this Agile umbrella, we have two popular frameworks that are making waves: Scrum and Kanban. These two kids on the block have a lot in common, but they're as different as chalk and cheese. They both help teams manage work effectively, but their approaches are as diverse as the landscapes of the Grand Canyon and the Great Plains. Let's start with Scrum. It's like a relay race where teams work in short, fast sprints to reach their goals. It's all about time-boxed iterations and constant feedback loops. Scrum is perfect for projects that need a structured approach and where changes are less frequent. Then we have Kanban, the Zen master of workflow. Here, the focus is on continuous delivery. It's like a serene river continuously flowing towards its destination. Kanban is ideal when your work involves a steady stream of incoming tasks that need to be done on the fly. It's all about visualizing your work, limiting work in progress, and making improvements continuously. So, are you a sprinter, valuing structure and preferring to work in bursts of energy, or a flow master, valuing flexibility and preferring to go with the flow? The choice between Scrum and Kanban depends on your project needs, your team's working style, and the environment you're in. But hey, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot more to uncover about these two Agile powerhouses. So let's buckle up and get ready for an Agile throwdown. Before we dive deeper into the showdown, let's take a quick pause. If you're finding this Agile showdown riveting, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so you never miss out on our future videos. It's your support that keeps us going and helps us produce more content for all you Agile enthusiasts out there. And hey, we'd love to hear from you too. Are you Team Scrum or Team Kanban? Drop a comment below and let us know. Also, don't hesitate to ask any questions you might have or suggest topics you'd like us to cover in our future videos. Remember, Agile is all about collaboration and continuous learning, and your feedback helps us improve. Now, let's get back to the Agile throwdown and dive into the world of team sprinters, also known as Scrum. Scrum is the framework that's all about teamwork and time-boxed sprints. Scrum is where the rhythm of teamwork beats like a drum. In Scrum, everything revolves around sprints. Sprints are essentially time-boxed periods, typically lasting 2 weeks, where a set of tasks or stories must be completed. Think of it as a race against the clock, where the team works together to cross the finish line in time. But how do we know what tasks to complete? That's where the sprint backlog comes in. The sprint backlog is a list of tasks that the team has agreed to complete during a sprint. It's like a team's to-do list for the next couple of weeks. And just like your personal to-do list, the aim is to tick off all the tasks by the end of the sprint. Now imagine running a race without checking your progress. You wouldn't know if you're on track or if you need to pick up the pace. That's why in Scrum, we have the daily stand-up. It's a quick meeting, usually not more than 15 minutes, where everyone updates the team about what they did yesterday, what they plan to do today, and any roadblocks they might be facing. This way, everyone stays in the loop, and any issues can be addressed promptly. Lastly, after every sprint, there's a review and retrospective. It's a time for the team to reflect on what went well and what could be improved. The review focuses on the product, while the retrospective is more about the team and the process. It's like a pit stop in a race, where you take a moment to refuel, fix any issues, and plan for the next lap. So that's Scrum for you, a framework where the team sprints towards their goal, checks their progress daily, and continuously looks for ways to improve. It's all about the rhythm of the team, the rhythm of the sprint. Scrum, in essence, is a framework that thrives on the rhythm of the team sprinting towards their goal. Now let's turn our attention to Kanban, the master of workflow. Just like Scrum, Kanban is a child of the Agile family, but it has its unique style and approach. Kanban, originating from the Japanese word meaning billboard, is all about visualizing your work, limiting work in progress, and focusing on continuous delivery. Let's break it down a bit. First up, we've got the visual board. Imagine a billboard, But instead of flashy ads, it's filled with sticky notes that represent tasks. This board is the heart of Kanban. It's divided into different sections that represent the stages of your process, such as to do, in progress, testing, and done. The beauty of the visual board is that it gives you a bird's eye view of your entire workflow at a glance. Now let's talk about WIP limits. WIP stands for work in progress. In Kanban land, we believe in not biting off more than we can chew. So we set limits on the number of tasks that can be in a particular stage at any given time. This helps maintain a balanced workflow, prevents overloading, and improves focus. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, Kanban is about continuous delivery. Unlike Scrum, where work is time-boxed into sprints, Kanban is a continuous flow. There's no waiting for the next sprint to start work on new tasks. As soon as a task is completed and moved to the done section, another task can be picked up from the to-do section. This ensures a steady, uninterrupted flow of work. So in essence, Kanban is a different rhythm of work. It's a dance of tasks moving smoothly from one stage to another, guided by the beat of continuous delivery and controlled by the tempo of YP limits. It's a visual symphony of productivity where everyone can see and understand the rhythm of work. Kanban, in a nutshell, is the art of managing work in progress and ensuring a smooth flow of tasks. It's the master of workflow, keeping everything in harmony and everyone on the same page. Now that we've met our contenders, it's time for the face-off. Scrum versus Kanban. Who comes out on top? Let's start with flexibility. Scrum is like a well-choreographed dance routine. It's structured, it's predictable, and it's got a rhythm to it. Sprints are time-boxed, tasks are defined, and roles are clearly assigned. Kanban, on the other hand, is more like a jazz improvisation. It's fluid, it's adaptable, and it's constantly changing. There are no time constraints or defined roles, just a continuous flow of work. Now, let's talk about speed. In the Scrum world, speed is determined by the sprint. You've got a set amount of time to complete a set amount of work. It's like running a race with a finish line. Kanban is more like a marathon. There's no finish line, just a continuous flow of work. It's not about how fast you can go, but how consistently you can keep moving. When it comes to team involvement, Scrum is a team sport. Everyone has a role to play and everyone is responsible for the success of the sprint. Kanban is more of a solo act. Each team member works on their own tasks independently, but they're all contributing to the overall flow of work. Ease of implementation is where things get interesting. Scrum is like building a Lego set. It comes with instructions, and if you follow them, you'll end up with a finished product. But it requires discipline and commitment. Kanban is more like playing with Play-Doh. You can shape it and mold it to fit your needs. It's easier to implement, but it requires a strong understanding of workflow and process. Both Scrum and Kanban have their strengths and weaknesses. Scrum is structured and predictable, but it requires discipline and commitment. Kanban is adaptable and continuous, but it requires a strong understanding of workflow and process. The choice between Scrum and Kanban depends on the specific needs of your project. So there you have it, folks. Scrum and Kanban, two different approaches under the Agile umbrella, each with its unique strengths. Now, the million-dollar question, which one should you choose, Scrum or Kanban? Well, aren't we all eager to find out? But let's hold our horses for a moment. The answer isn't as simple as a heads or tails coin toss. It's more like a game of chess. You've got to think about your moves, consider the pros and cons, and make a strategic decision that suits your project best. Think about it this way. You've got a project on hand. Now, how do you want to manage it? Do you have a small team and a project that requires frequent interaction with the client? Or do you have a larger team and a project that needs to keep moving, regardless of individual tasks? If you're leaning towards the first scenario, then Scrum might just be your go-to framework. It thrives in environments where team members can communicate swiftly, and stakeholders are involved regularly. With its time-boxed sprints and Scrum ceremonies, it provides a structured approach that keeps every team member on their toes and ensures constant progress. On the other hand, if you're dealing with a larger team or a project that needs continuous workflow, say hello to Kanban. Kanban is all about visualizing your work, limiting work in progress, and focusing on continuous delivery. It's less structured than Scrum, which can be a blessing for teams that need the flexibility to adapt to changing demands. But here's the catch. There's no one-size-fits-all solution in Agile. The beauty of it is that it encourages experimentation. So go ahead and try both. See what fits your team like a glove. Whether it's Scrum or Kanban, both are excellent tools in the world of Agile project management. Remember, Agile is all about adaptability. So don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. After all, the right choice isn't about picking between Scrum and Kanban. It's about picking what makes your team the most productive, efficient, and happy. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay agile.